right here, sir.
Look, it's back!
What's back?
You've got some shit on your nose again!
Well, folks, South Park has done it again, returning this week for their Halloween special that absolutely dumped, pun intended, on Donald Trump and his administration, but specifically Pam Bondi, the brown-noser. I genuinely think the brown-nose shit jokes got into the double digits here, folks. But as always, there was even more humiliation for Donald Trump himself and JD Vance, as well as Stephen Miller, who you can see here looking absolutely ghoulish, meta commentary on crypto and the political climate, and of course, everyone's favorite conservative propaganda network.
This is a fact! Yeah! America!
So as always here at Really American, we'll do a quick recap of the whole episode, spoilers ahead. I'll show as many great moments of the show as I can, and we'll break down all the jokes, highlights, and meta commentary at the end. So the episode starts with Stan Marsh and his dad Randy, who are moving to a new quote-unquote home because Randy lost his job due to the government shutdown. When Stan asks, are we actually moving into a new home, he finds out, unfortunately, no, they're not. They're moving in with his grandpa at his retirement home. And the poop jokes start right away with Stan getting placed next to his grandpa's shit pan.
Come on, Stan. You have that space over there by Grandpa's shit pan.
Then we move into this incredible footage of the White House being bulldozed down by Donald Trump, but when he's told where the placement of the ballroom goes, Satan, standing next to him, is pretty upset because he thought they were tearing down the East Wing to make a nursery room for the Antichrist baby that Trump and Satan are gonna have. That a joke that has been well set up and established earlier in this season, so if you don't know the subplots here, you might want to go back and check out a couple of our other videos to catch up on the plot. Then, Trump gets called away to deal with a matter of national security, as we're told. We get a great introduction to the portrayal of South Park's Stephen Miller, as well as Pam Bondi.
We won't let any harm come to the baby of the greatest president that ever lived. You are without equal, sir.
Hey, Pam.
And we are honored to be.
Pam, sorry. You got a little shit on your nose there.
Oh, do I? Did I get it?
No, it's still there.
And all of them are sitting around because they have found out that someone is trying to stop Trump and Satan's baby from being born. In the last episode, we found out that that was JD Vance colluding with Peter Thiel because he doesn't want to give up his power to Trump's new Satan baby. Meanwhile, the subplot is essentially Stan is upset that he has to live with his grandpa in the retirement home, and he claims that all of this is happening to him because South Park sucks, because it got too political.
South Park sucks now, and it's because of all this political shit.
The boys decide to use this frustration and anger to launch a social movement called South Park Sucks, which is almost exactly what MAGA did after South Park started making fun of their cult daddy. But it gets even more poignant down the road. After that, we get this brilliant scene in the White House where Donald Trump is concerned because he claims a specter is haunting the White House.
It's here right now, in the corner.
Turns out, it's actually just Melania looking creepy as hell standing in the corner, and Trump doesn't even know that she's his wife.
I'm pretty sure that's your wife, sir.
My wife? What does it want?
Absolutely brilliant, and then we get more Pam Bondi brown-nosing.
Oh, Pam, you got some shit on your nose again.
Oh, really?
Pam!
Where's Pam Bondi?
I'm right here, sir.
Look, it's back!
What's back?
You've got some shit on your nose again!
And this is so great for how it turns into like a whole Ghost Hunters thing in just a second. But first, the boys decide to use their newfound social media fame and the traction behind the South Park Sucks movement to launch the South Park Sucks crypto meme coin. Basically playing on the trope of taking advantage of hype and social movements to then sell these digital assets that they then rug pull on people, much like how the White House did with Trump coin itself. After that, it's back to the White House where Trump is taking a golden shower. Well done there, South Park. And continues to be haunted by the specter of Melania. JD Vance then starts to worry that his plot might get figured out because he is currently coordinating with Peter Thiel, who thinks that Cartman is somehow the only person who can stop the birth of this Antichrist baby. Meanwhile, the boys call up Kyle's cousin, who serves as their financial advisor for this crypto coin that they are pumping, and it is going straight to the moon. He talks about how they're just gonna rug pull and screw people over, and it's genuinely hilarious.
Once we pump the coin high as it'll go, then I can register for an MSB with the federal government. The federal government? That sounds hard. Oh no, it's gonna be easy. The crypto corruption at the White House is off the chain. We're gonna screw a lot of people out of their money, boys. It's gonna be fantastic.
Then, a group of paranormal investigators are invited to the White House and welcomed in by Stephen Miller here in this very creepy scene, where they start to have a sudden realization about the brown stuff that continues to appear on Pam Bondi's nose.
The rectoplasm seems to be 54% filet-o-fish sandwich.
Oh my god! I ate a filet-o-fish sandwich last night!
I mean, if rectoplasm isn't the funniest thing I've heard in like a week, I don't know what is. But then, things take a turn after the rectoplasm inspectors start to list off what the rectoplasm is actually made of. Turns out it's like 40% fish fillet, to which Donald Trump responds, I just had fish fillet. Then they say it's another percentage Taco Bell, and Trump's like, oh, I just ate Taco Bell. And then...
And it's 14% its own cum.
Oh my god! I ate!
2 paranormal investigators were indicted today on federal charges of falsifying data. The charges were filed by Attorney General Pam Bondi, who said that the president is a great man, even if he does eat his own semen.
Meanwhile, everything is going great with the boys' meme coin, so they send Kyle's cousin over to DC to go directly to the White House to get federal approval for their coin. Kyle's cousin finds himself welcomed into the White House by none other than Stephen Miller again, and while discussing screwing over all of their crypto coin holders with Don Jr., Pam Bondi busts in and declares that they need to have a seance to rid themselves of the spirit that has infiltrated the White House. I really just love the theme of like Melania being this ghost that is haunting everyone at the White House. It's incredibly funny, and this is where it really pays off. The crypto coin starts tanking, and the boys are frantically trying to get a hold of their crypto advisor, Kyle's cousin, but he's freaking out because he's dragged into the seance, and he thinks that all of Trump's advisors surrounding him trying to look into who is trying to stop the Satan baby from being born are actually looking into the shitty things that him and the boys are doing with their cryptocurrency. We get even more Pam Bondi brown-nosing.
The president is a great man, and he does not deserve to be tormented like this.
Then she gets possessed by Melania's spirit and makes this accusation.
Buff, maybe we should stop this. No, I want to hear what it has to say.
Epstein!
No, you're right. Let's stop this.
You!
At first, JD Vance obviously thinks he's been found out, and clearly someone has talked, but he is ultimately saved because Kyle's cousin's guilt takes over and he admits to trying to scam people with crypto. And just like this administration is so ripe to do, we then get another crazy pinning of the blame on Kyle's cousin for everything that Fox News immediately goes into. And I genuinely hope YouTube lets me show you this because it's a little disgusting. Finally, at the end, after the boys' cryptocurrency has failed, Stan seems to accept his fate, and we get this kind of creepy, almost The Shining-esque ending, where he dances with the seniors in his retirement facility and seems to accept his fate. Ultimately ending with this slow pan with some eerie music as Melania Spector stands there overlooking the debris of the White House. I mean, as if that all weren't example enough of how poignant and metaphorical even cartoons can be. First of all, I love the Pam Bondi brown-nosing stuff. I thought that was a hilarious bit that they played to perfection in this episode. Then just the entire vibe of this whole episode, like the White House looking like it does, all creepy and stormy, Stephen Miller looking like a total creep and walking really weird. It just plays to this like plague of evil and darkness that is haunting the White House from day one. I absolutely love the meta commentary of the South Park sucks, and so the boys just jump on this movement criticizing South Park because of the political stuff, which like South Park has always been a commentary on society and even politics. And it's just so funny how South Park continues to just ride the wave and take all the punches that MAGA, Donald Trump, JD Vance themselves, even DHS has thrown at the show. Just turn them back onto the same people who are making fun of them, ultimately making MAGA and the people who are attacking South Park look like complete idiots. Then, of course, the hilarious parallels between the boys launching this cryptocurrency to rug pull and screw people out of their money, literally admitting that that is why they are doing it and going to the White House to get approval, is such a brilliant reflection on what Donald Trump and his family are doing with crypto, just blatantly corruptly taking it over. I love that one line where he's like,
the crypto corruption at the White House is off the chain. We're gonna screw a lot of people out of their money, boys. It's gonna be fantastic.
I mean, we made a video recently about how Donald Trump's family has profited $800 million in the first 6 months of his presidency alone from crypto. As always, absolutely love the Fox News commentary, like the part where they just go, Fox News America. And these guys will just happily report on absolute bullshit, make up complete fake news as long as it's pro-Trump, pro-presidency. Which, by the way, if you're looking for something else to watch too, I actually just watched this great YouTuber's deep dive onto the Rupert Murdoch family succession story that actually influenced the show Succession. And they talk a lot about how an internal dynamic of the family fight for ownership after Murdoch dies was because some in the family wanted to keep Fox as conservative as it is versus those who had a more left-leaning view and wanted to make it a more centrist network. And ultimately, they lost out. Great video, super informative, a long watch, but highly recommend checking it out. I'll leave the link in the description. But yeah, I think the themes overall of this episode speak incredible volumes. I mean, not only was it a great just Halloween special, it fit the vibe perfectly, but even the subplot of the boys, right? Trying to use their resources and the anger to, turn a buck and make their lives marginally better by screwing over other people is kind of commentary on how, the average American can't afford anything. Federal workers are furloughed. And so people are forced into these desperate attempts to try to get by and forced to do desperate things. I'm sure that may be why some people join ICE. And it does have a depressing tone at the end when Stan is forced to accept his fate and just conform to living in this retirement home. All in all, it really is just a powerful commentary on American politics as it is today, as well as a humiliating and epic takedown of Donald Trump and this entire Trump administration. I sing their praises every time they put out an episode, and I'm always incredibly proud to do so because, as I've always mentioned, I've loved this show since I was a kid. I watched it with my dad growing up, and I think they do a perfect blend of mixing humor and even just like potty humor with tackling really serious and poignant subject matter. And I think that ultimately is why MAGA gets so mad about it and says South Park sucks because of all the politics. Because they just don't understand nuance and they can't take any kind of criticism as anything other than a personal attack. And as we've seen with many a MAGA figure recently, if you lob any sort of criticism at anyone, suddenly you're a violent leftist communist worthy of being doxxed and fired from your job for simply posting a meme or saying something that's even mildly controversial towards the MAGA movement. But yeah, folks, that is the South Park Halloween special, my commentary and thoughts on it. As always, this is a conversation, so I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. Have you seen the episode? Did you like it? And do you agree with the way these characters are being characterized in the show? We here at Really American will be covering all of the new episodes as they come out, so be sure to drop a like and subscribe to stay in the loop. And for Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you guys in the next one.